Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for a really unique approach to our topic. Instead of analyzing historical events or crunchy scientific data like we sometimes do, today we're actually deconstructing a fascinating source text. It's essentially a detailed narrative blueprint that was designed to prompt a deeply emotional story called A Mother's Endless Love. We're going to explore exactly how this narrative is built, literally piece by piece, to evoke such a powerful, heartwarming response from the reader. It's a beautiful journey, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. When do we finally realize what our parents gave up for us? It's a deeply profound thought, isn't it? As we unpack this story's blueprint today, I want you to keep this question right in the back of your mind. It's basically the central engine driving the whole narrative we're about to explore. It's asking us to look back at our own lives with a totally renewed sense of empathy.
All right, starting us off is part 1, A Blueprint of Love.
So our source material outlines this foundational narrative that's explicitly designed to be inspirational, heartwarming, and just deeply emotional. The core focus here is on two beautifully drawn characters, an incredibly devoted mother named Mary and her son, Ethan. The blueprint dictates that from the very second Ethan is born, Mary's entire existence just pivots. But to actually achieve that intended emotional resonance, the author's blueprint requires some very specific literary tools for this roughly 2,500 to 4,000 word story. It relies heavily on realistic dialogue to really ground the characters. It needs emotional scenes to kind of tug right at the reader's heartstrings. It requires strong character development, enhanced by rich descriptions, so we actually grow alongside Ethan and Mary, and ultimately it has to deliver these powerful life lessons about family and gratitude. Moving right along to part 2, the foundation of sacrifice. Let's look at the very beginning of Ethan's life. The story blueprint definitely does not shy away from the hard, gritty realities of parenting. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it drives home the heavy burden Mary carried, literally from day one. We're looking at sleepless nights, financial struggles, and really deep personal hardships. When you consider all of these sacrifices stacked up, you realize the immense physical and emotional toll she's enduring just to establish the true cost of unconditional love. And yet, the ultimate goal, towering above all of those intense personal struggles, is ensuring her child, Ethan, feels completely loved and safe. She's basically absorbing all the friction of life like a sponge so that his world remains entirely secure. Which brings us to part 3, navigating life's early challenges. Let's move to and see how this builds. As Ethan gets older, that protective safety bubble Mary worked so incredibly hard to create is inevitably challenged, right? He has to start navigating the unavoidable, and honestly sometimes harsh, friction of the outside world. We can literally track Ethan's journey across a timeline of universal growing pains. In childhood, the source text notes that he faces school difficulties. As we move into adolescence, the hurdle shifts inward, manifesting as this heavy self-doubt. And then as he steps out into young adulthood, he encounters very real, tangible setbacks in life. Growing up is a remarkably complex journey, and this blueprint perfectly captures these distinct, highly relatable phases that, let's be honest, test us all. But here is the real beauty of the story's structure. Ethan doesn't face these obstacles in a vacuum. Whenever he comes up against internal struggles like those school issues, the crippling self-doubt, or life setbacks, Mary meets him with counterforces of absolute stability. When he struggles, she provides unwavering love. When he doubts himself, she offers active, vocal encouragement. And when he faces setbacks, she steps in with quiet, grounded wisdom. We can clearly see how her external presence becomes the very foundation he relies on to find his own strength and confidence to keep pushing forward. Now we reach part 4, the adulthood realization. The pacing of the story naturally slows down right here as it reaches a really profound, deliberate turning point. The whole narrative shifts from the actions of the mother to the awakening of the son. So the crucial point is how this beautifully resolves by bridging that huge gap between a child's blind reception of love and an adult's profound gratitude. We see Ethan's evolution mapped out in 3 very clear steps. First, he reaches adulthood. Second, and this is absolutely the emotional climax of the whole thing, he finally realizes the immense depth of Mary's sacrifices. All those sleepless nights and hardships we discussed earlier, he finally truly understands them. And third, the story finds its resolution as he actively seeks and finds a meaningful way to honor her love. And that leads us to our final section, part 5, a universal tribute. While this is specifically the story of Mary and Ethan, the source text explicitly dictates that the blueprint must inspire its readers universally. It's designed to impart core themes of family, incredible sacrifice, and a love that comes with absolutely zero conditions attached. It's a gentle reminder designed to ensure we never take parental love for granted. And this brilliantly illustrates the final uplifting message dictated directly by our source text. A mother's love is the first gift we receive, the strongest force we ever know, and the one treasure that stays with us forever. It's just a gorgeous, powerful sentiment meant to serve as the capstone of the story, leaving the reader emotional, inspired, and deeply appreciative of the unique bond they share with their own parents.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to chew on. How will you honor the unwavering love in your own life today? Take just a moment to reflect on your own hidden family histories, the quiet, unseen sacrifices that were made for you, and how you might step up to show your gratitude today. Thank you so much for joining me on this structured journey through such a beautiful narrative blueprint. Until next time, keep learning and keep reflecting.